Good evening and welcome to tonight's Monroe City Council meeting. This is a regular business meeting for Tuesday, December 9, 2025. The time right now is 7 p.m. I'm going to go ahead and ask that our clerk, Clerk Wyckoff, please call the roll.
Thank you, Mayor. Council members present and establishing a quorum are council members Fulcher, Beaumont, Hanford, Walker, Gamble, Fisher, and Scarborough.
All right, thank you very much. We're going to go ahead and move on to the first item on the agenda. That would be the next item on the agenda. That would be the Pledge of Allegiance. Councilmember Scarborough. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is public comments. Is there anybody that has signed up to speak this evening? Okay. Is there anybody that wanted to speak this evening? Okay. Without going through the full script, which is on our agenda, time limit is 3 minutes. We ask that you identify yourself and your association with the city. And if you have anything that goes beyond the 3 minutes, we will ask that you just go ahead and submit those in writing to the council. So we'll start the 3-minute timer, which is up here on the board. After you've stated your name, pausing, and association with the city. Go ahead.
Hello, my name is Michael McConnell, Deputy Chief with Snohomish Regional Fire and Rescue, and one of your partners when it comes to public safety and also emergency management. I just wanted to let the council and the rest of the public know the work that we are doing in partnership with the City of Monroe, but also at the county level to respond to these historic flooding that we're experiencing here, not only in the Skykomish Valley, but the Stilley, the Snoqualmie, and the region throughout. In response, we've deployed additional resources here in Monroe to make sure that we're able to fully utilize the tools and capabilities that we house for our water rescue, swift water rescue, and subsurface rescue teams. Through last night, we did have rescues up the valley in Gold Bar and then also further down the valley into Snohomish. But I would like to applaud the proactive work of Snohomish County Human Services and partnership with our local nonprofits and community resource centers that we were proactive to get the word out to those that are unhoused or underhoused that are in areas that are of extremely high risk due to the high floodwaters. We are monitoring the situation closely. The county EOC is fully staffed and they're continuing to monitor and model the forecasting, but we are anticipating additional rains to move through and that what has been anticipated as record high flooding for the Snohomish River and some of the other areas will actually potentially continue to increase and exceed what had been previously stated. At this point, the Three Rivers Mobile Home Park, just downriver from the city of Monroe, has been evacuated, and then EB Island is currently being evacuated due to the high risk of flooding in that area. So we will continue to monitor this situation, maintain, reinforce our additional staffing, and then work to communicate closely with regional partners. Snohomish County has also offered shelter for animals. There is actually quite a multitude of animals here at the fairgrounds, and then additional shelter as needed for those that are evacuated from their homes or other areas. So I will provide a written text to the council and to your emergency management team. And again, we just appreciate your partnership and to be able to work with you as we all work to keep our community safe and resilient.
Thank you very much. Is there anybody else that would like to speak to the council this evening? All right, seeing none. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next item on the agenda, and that is under announcements and presentations, item number 5.1, recognition of Councilmember Scarborough. Look at what we snuck on there. So we're each going to have words to say with you and a photo and a couple other things. But before that, I understand that we've got a video to share. So I'm going to go ahead and turn to staff.
You want me to say something?
Not yet. So before we hit play, I'll just go ahead and say that, just to introduce the topic, Councilmember Scarborough has been a pleasure to serve with. He has served since 2016. He was the last council member to serve in the 2-year at-large position, which is why he's served 3 terms, but 10 years. He was reelected in 2017 and also in 2021. He is a Navy SEAL. He's now involved with the VOA. And he worked for the Monroe School District for 17 years and was a transportation supervisor. When he ran for office, his original campaign focuses were transportation and homelessness. I'm really happy to have served with you for 10 years, and we'll have more to say after your video. So thank you. Jody, are you good to go? Councilmember Scarborough, it has been such a pleasure to serve with you for these 10 years. I really appreciate your curiosity, your inquisitiveness. You really consider the impact of decisions, and I really, really value the voice that you bring to our community and the voice you bring here on the dais. You've made a very significant impact on our community, and from my heart to yours, I thank you so much for that. Thank you. Council members? Councilmember, go ahead, Councilmember Walker, and then Councilmember Fisher.
Kirk, you are fan. All right. All right. I've been told you were going to retire in 2021, and so I decided to run for your seat. And then when you decided you were going to run again, I was heartbroken. I don't want to run against a Navy SEAL. Is SEAL Team 1? This guy's going to suplex me. And I think by the time I made the decision that I think you should be on the council, I'm going to withdraw. It was too late. Couldn't back out then. So I know you've heard me say this to you multiple times, but I am so glad that you whooped me. And because, gosh, it has been so awesome serving with you on council. The time that we've been able to spend together, I am just so appreciative. I'm appreciative of your commitment to our community. You truly care. Every year that you've been able to serve with the city has been a real gift. So thank you for all the work that you've done for our community, for our school district and our kids when you were working with the school district, and your service to our country as well. You show up to every event. You're a great man, and I am so grateful for you, and thank you for the time I was able to spend with you and your time with the community.
Thank you for your kind words, but 20 votes wasn't a vote.
Thank you. Councilmember Fisher.
So fortunately, I didn't have to run against you. It has been an absolute pleasure being up here with you. You've sacrificed for your country, our country. You've sacrificed things for our city. You are a tougher man than I will ever dream of being, which I think is maybe not much coming from me, but I think maybe a tougher man than anybody in this room. The things that you have gone through, the things that you have seen, the things that you have made a priority in your life, I really look up to. Again, I was going to say great man. Unfortunately, he said it, so maybe you'll just get at least two of them tonight. I think you're a great man. I love how you come into council. You don't have an attitude. You're very reachable, and those things are incredibly important to us. Your heart has always been with the city of Monroe, and it's something that I hope to emulate and have been able to look up to. So I appreciate your service here on council, so thank you very much.
Councilmember Beaumont.
Thank you. Oh, Kirk, goodness. When I was first elected, I have a friend that worked with you at the transportation department, and she said, you are absolutely going to love him. He is such a great person. And boy, was she right. I have so enjoyed getting to know you. I'm very grateful to serve my first term with such an accomplished and compassionate man and council member. Your military service just absolutely, I'm so impressed. And you've spent some time sharing some of your experiences with me. I've seen pictures of you when you were a young man in the Navy, and you and Ed both, and I'm so proud to know you for a variety of reasons. I also love that we voted alike often. You're very empathetic and compassionate. You care about elders in our community. You care about the underserved. You care about animals. You are a sensitive man, but also a tough man, and I really respect you for that. It's just been a joy, and I will miss seeing you on Tuesdays, and I hope that I will see you again outside of council. And now I am happy to take on the mantle of the oldest council member. Thank you so much. We will miss you so much, and thank you for your service. Not really, but I have it.
Thank you. Anybody else? Go ahead, Councilmember Fulcher.
When I came into council for the first time in 2016, I was like, first of all, who's the joker who keeps asking weird stuff? And who's the guy who keeps asking all the questions on the, you two got my attention right away. And when I was elected and I was on for a year or two, I got to sit next to you. And so for the last few years, I've got to sit next to you. And I went from wondering who, what, to respecting you so much. And I told you that. Yeah. And then, and then last year in Olympia, when we were, of course, early down in the lobby waiting for everyone else until Deborah got there, we got a chance to just sit and talk. And at that point, I thought, this is just an amazing man. So I'm proud to have served with you, and I'm proud to sit next to you as your seatmate. It's been just all sorts of fun to lean over during the preamble times and just check on all the details and all the things. You care so much about Monroe. You're always going to be there. You always show up at all the events. So I'm going to miss that. I don't know if I'm going to like sitting next to anybody else, but sure love you, man. Thanks.
Councilmember Hanford.
Thank you, Mayor. A great man. That's a great description of you, Kirk. You know, when you came on council, I didn't know you at all. Had never met you, I don't think. And the wisdom that you have brought over the years is valued. You know, most of us, except for young Walker here, are roughly the same age, and I'm a firm preacher of, diversity and having valued the different opinions from older and younger people and getting the whole perspective. And you've brought that in a strong way for 10 years. And so I have just been so thankful to have that elderly wisdom that you bring, a totally different perspective from your life, from your past life, and from your current life with your family. And you care. You mentioned that he cares. You care about our city. You care about what's best. As someone said earlier, you come in here with a humble attitude. You don't come in here with an agenda. You come in with an open heart and open mind. You're not afraid to say, I don't understand this, explain it to me. I want to know what we're voting on. And I appreciate that about you. And of course, thank you for your service for our country and for our city. And it's good to be your Eddie Bauer buddy.
Councilmember Gamble. You're on.
So I've been sitting next to you, I think, almost the whole time. Almost the whole time. And there's been said by many about being a great man. I would take it even a step further to say you're a great human. And you show up everywhere in the community. And, I saw that even most recently at a memorial service for one of your former employees. And just to see how, you were there and there were lots of other former employees there and just how you were interacting and you show up and you're you're an authentic human and it makes it very fun to serve with. You have high integrity, which I just love. I mean, you look at an issue and this is probably why we got it wrong so well from the standpoint of, well, that's just not right. and you know what? We need that a lot more these days sometimes, is just to be able to look at something and say, you know what, that's just not right. And be able to just call it how it is. And I'm going to miss that. I'm going to miss the pokes on the side, back and forth to each other. Yeah, I can't believe it's been 10 years. It's just been, I know, but not a long time. And this city is better because of the 10 years that you served. You're too kind.
And I'm gonna miss you. So.
Thank you.
Right. So at this point, we have this wonderful plaque that we'd like to offer to you. And so I'd like to invite you to join us down here on the floor. Kirk, so that you can we make sure the mic's on? Okay. So Kirk, can you introduce us to your family, and feel free to.
Okay, let me introduce my family. First of all, my wife, Beverly. You can come over here. My son, Leroy, and my son, Morgan. All of whom enable me to do a good job at anything because I have their support, and especially Mrs. Scarborough here. You haven't got time for the story on how we met 36 and a half years ago, and how the marriage came about, other than the fact that I met her and proposed 2 weeks later, married her 6 months later, moved her to San Diego for the last 5 years in the Navy, where I came home one day after we had been married for not quite 6 months, or about 6 months, and said, "We're leaving tomorrow and we don't know when we'll be home." So she got her first indoctrination on Navy life when the Gulf War hit. So, and she'd endured it wonderfully. So, bless her heart. So, thank you. And as far as everybody else, I'd like to thank the staff, because the staff helped me get through things when I didn't understand it. I'd say, "Can you explain this to me so I don't look foolish out there?" And nobody ever said no. Becky Hassert, who isn't here tonight, helped me understand the finance side. The old pros, where's that guy? And one out here, who took me under their wings. They were my mentors. They helped me out a lot. Patsy, Councilman, what is it? I'm just kidding. He's Campbell. And Jason, of course, and Deborah Knight as the city manager, always willing to help. Jake is always willing to help. Everybody was willing to help. Been through a couple police chiefs and a few staff members, and Rosemary, who helped me with my campaigns. God bless you, putting up with me. And it was nip and tuck to beat young Walker here by 20 votes that he referred to as a shellacking, which it wasn't. But it was a real good time to see him come back 2 years later and come on the council. He's a good young voice on the council. He should be here, and I'm glad he is. And my replacement is going to be a young voice. She's on your planning commission, and she will sit somewhere up on the diocese. I'm sure they'll play musical chairs here next month. But thanks to all of the staff who supported me. Thanks to my family who supported me. Deborah Knight, who supported me and has always been there when I needed to have a question answered. You too, thank you very much, Sherry. And Jacob and police chief and everybody else. Thank you very much. It's been a short 10 years. It's hard to believe it's been that long, but it has been fast, and it has been pleasurable. Thank you very much for all of it. That's the word. Yeah, one on each side. Get the big guy.
Maybe in front of his name? Good idea every once in a while.
So we're just going to pause for about 60 seconds here. All right. We are going to go ahead and continue with our agenda. All right. So we're going to go ahead and move on to item 6, consent agenda. And I turn to the council. Councilmember Fulcher.
I move to approve the, there you go, consent agenda as provided in the packet.
I have a motion from Councilmember Fulcher, a second from Councilmember Beaumont for approving the consent agenda, item 6. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, I will go ahead and, just a second. Okay, so I'll go ahead and call for the question. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is new business, item number 7.1, Park Board appointments with Liam McCorkle.
Thank you, Mayor, and good evening, Council. Before you tonight is a board appointment confirmation request for Ryan Olson to the Parks Board. Ryan Olson was recently appointed to the Parks Board in a midterm vacancy, and the request tonight is to essentially extend that appointment to serve a full 4-year term beginning in January. And this will ensure heading into the new year that the Park Board has a full quorum. With that, I will hand it back to the Mayor.
All right, thank you very much. I have nothing further to add. Turning to the council. Go ahead, Councilmember Walker.
I move to confirm the mayor's reappointment of Ryan Olson to the Park Board Position 1 with the term ending December 31st, 2029.
I have a motion from Councilmember Walker, a second from Councilmember Scarborough for the requested action is shown on the screen. Item 7.1 under new business. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, I'll call for the question. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is new business item number 7.2, resolution number 2025-025, extending interfund loan. Julie Olson. Good evening.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Council. So in 2023, an interfund loan
Microphone.
In 2023, an interfund loan was approved by council between Fund 520, which is the Fleet Fund, and the General Fund to pay for the festival lot properties. And so this action extends that loan out a year until the end of 2026. And this is in line with the city's 5-year strategic plan, which anticipates retiring the loan in 2026. And we will be back in early next year to present some options and alternatives. Any questions?
Thank you. Council members? Councilmember Hanford?
Thank you, Mayor. I move to approve resolution number 2025-025, authorizing an extension of an interfund loan from Fund 530 Equipment and Fleet Management to Fund 307 General Capital Projects.
I have a motion from Councilmember Hanford, and I'll defer this evening to Councilmember Scarborough on the second. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, I'll call for the question. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Thank you. Councilmember reports. We'll start off with Councilmember Gamble.
All right. Well, I missed last week, so I missed being able to. I missed the lighting ceremony on the Sunday, and it looked fantastic.
It's okay. We're going to ask you to sing when we're done with
That's okay.
Councilmember reports.
That was my. I was a music major, so that's not a punishment for me. So give me a mic, I'm fine.
But is it for us?
Yeah. But it was so cool. It was my nephew's birthday, and so he wanted for his birthday to go watch the Seahawks. So we went and watched the Hawks, and I pulled in, and by the time we got back to town, the booths and stuff are still there, but the ceremony stopped. But it's just so beautiful. I love that event. It was so cool to see basically full representation from council there, which is just awesome. So that is very, very cool. I unfortunately am going to be unable to attend next week because I have a family emergency that I need to tend to that's going to put me on an airplane. And I would be remiss if I didn't take a few moments to say a couple words about the gentleman to my left that I know his celebration is going to be next week. And I've had the pleasure of serving alongside Mayor Thomas for all 12 of those years. I said it, with Kurt just a minute ago, this city is better because of the 12 years that you have served and you have led. And you have been a great leader for us, managing through some very turbulent times in our political history. And it's something that I've said from the dais on several occasions that what has kept my faith in this country has been local politics, has been this council, has been this leadership team from the city, and the leadership of our mayor to make it through a lot of those very trying times and where politics were very polarized, and to manage through that in the way that we collectively have with you at the helm, it just says a lot about your character, your leadership ability, the staff that you hired and have led. It's just a great team. And I have thoroughly enjoyed the 12 years, and we've been through a lot together as, in the role of a council member and a mayor in those 12 years, whether it's lobbying Olympia or debating issues here on different sides of issues for sure, but also just getting to know you as a human and as a friend. Lots of different things that our kids have gone through and parents and all that. And I just thank you for your service. I thank you for your friendship. And I'm really going to miss you. I think at the time too, when you ran, because we didn't know each other before you ran, and you were my first endorsement ever
Thank you.
when you ran the second time, and your two subsequent terms. It was one of the easiest decisions for me to make to endorse you on the subsequent times. So I just appreciate your service, and I'm sorry I can't be here next week. I would be if it wasn't for a family deal. So job well done.
Thank you very much, Jason. It's been a real pleasure serving with you as well. And I also feel that the community is a lot better because of your service as well. So it's been a real pleasure serving up here with you, and I'll reserve other comments for next week as far as the council, but since you won't be here, I appreciate that we're able to handle things without partisanship and just look at the issues before us. So thank you. Thank you very much. Going from that to then continuing down the line.
Sorry.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm going to start off down there, and we're going to end with Councilmember Scarborough. Councilmember Hanford.
Thank you, Mayor. I will be here next week, so I will reserve my comments.
Thank you. All right. Councilmember Fisher.
I will also be here next week, but I have a couple of things. This week had a little get-together talking about prevention programs for our youth, which is really kind of a cool thing that's kind of come up in conversation a few times. The idea being led by our police officers, which is really, really a cool thing. The importance of having SROs that can really paint a really good picture of what we have going on in our schools. And so that was a really good talk. I like being involved with so many people that really care about our community. So more to come eventually for everyone on that. Next thing is just to mention and see what other council members, how they feel about a resolution of support for the school district bond and levy. I know that Superintendent Woodward, board member, now president, Molly Barnes, I think are going to do a little talk up for public speaking or public hearing, not public hearing, public speaking next week to kind of clarify some things. If you have any questions, everything is on their website as well, but just to kind of give everybody a little bit of time to kind of look into that and see if it's something that we want to do. And then if we do, then obviously the mayor could direct staff to draft something up if that's something that we would like to do. With that, I was also on the Facility Advisory Committee for the school district, and so went through the whole process of the bond and what they needed and all of those things. So just a little food for thought on if you guys would like to support that at that level or not, and that is all I have at this point.
Thank you. On the resolution, I'll say that quite a long time ago when we did the major, when the school district did the major bond vote for, that led to the redo of Park Place and a lot of the other facilities, the council did do a resolution in support. And so I'll go ahead and ask that staff be prepared to answer questions related to that. Is that something that can wait until January, or is that, so you're just?
Yeah,
Okay,
I think so. Superintendent Woodward would probably be the one to ask if we have a chance to do that next week in the correct forum. But you can always reach out to him also.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So short end for next week or for the meeting in January, staff will have the information, be prepared to answer questions about how that process goes. All right. Thank you very much, Councilmember. Councilmember Walker.
Kirk, I appreciate you. I just want to say that one more time. Next week, I am flying in at 2 o'clock from California. I'm going to do my best to make it, and I think I'm going to be here, but...
I'll see you next week.
Perfect. Save everyone's time. Nothing else to report, but
Thank
everyone
you.
be safe.
Thank you. Councilmember Beaumont. Thank you. Councilmember Fulcher.
This afternoon, I did meet with the Snohomish County Emergency Management, the VOA supervisor, liaison for the cold weather shelters, and one other gal, as well as an HOA person from the neighborhood that this affects. But regarding the cold weather shelter up on Chain Lake Road for this year, we had some questions. They were very good at answering. It sounds like they have everything well in hand, even though there were still some concerns on our part, but they actually did a very good job of answering it. I want to say that I'm a Monroe graduate. My dad was a Monroe graduate. My grandfather, he was a Bearcat too. I am going to opt out of doing a resolution sign-on, because I don't think that's appropriate for this body. I've said it last time we were supposed to do a sign-on, and I was the only person who said, I don't want to do that. So I'm willing to be the dissenting voice, but I am pro-Bearcats, I am pro-school. If people want to ask Heather Fulcher what she wants, they can do that. But I am never approving of using our position to lever someone's votes. So.
Thank you. Councilmember Councilmember Fisher, did you have something?
I did.
Okay.
One more thing, I wanted to bring up the email from Ken Fulcher for the concessions, and maybe if we get a chance to talk a little bit about that. It looks like the timing that we requested the last meeting maybe is not very good timing for the actual business owners that are down there providing the food, so maybe have a discussion about that as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'll have staff be prepared to provide some answers on that then. So we'll come back to that. Councilmember Scarborough, go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll be here next week, so I'll reserve those comments for next week.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank once again everybody for their very kind words. Deserved or not, we'll never know, but I appreciate them. I will cherish them. Something I'd like Chief Jolly to share with Officer Ryan. About 10 years ago, next month, after I was elected to the city council, I went on my first ride around Monroe with Officer Ryan. And he showed me where the homeless camps were. He showed me where some of the drug houses were. We observed one for at least an hour, and it was a very enlightening experience about things around town, drugs being one and homeless being the other. I don't envy the council going forward with what they will have to deal with the rules that govern what you can and can't do to help homeless people. I do thank God every night that I'm not in that category. He's been kind enough to lead me a different direction. But for those people who have fallen into that world, there go I, but for the grace of God. Thank everybody for what they've done for me, and God bless you. Merry Christmas.
Thank you. All right, we're just pausing for a second here, sorry. All right, so going back to Councilmember Fisher's question about the contract with the concessionaires, that's something that council can decide in January if they like. It's also something that if the council wanted to provide direction to us, we can add to consent next week. So if there's going to be substantial discussion on it, it may be something you want to wait till January to have. If it's something that you want to discuss next week, we can certainly have that conversation. So, and I'm just going to note for the record that Councilmember Fulcher is leaving chambers. We're having the conversation now because it came up during councilmember reports. And go ahead, Councilmember Walker.
I got the email from Mr. Fulcher as well. The gist of the email was that having the RFP process be in the spring of next year with the intention of potentially having a new vendor for the Little League sports season in the spring or in the summer doesn't seem like it is possible because, as Mr. Fulcher mentioned, the health department permit is purchased for the year and has to be done before December 31st. And so if we were to change vendors in the middle of the year, it seemed like we would be asking Mr. Fulcher to buy the permit for the year of 2026 without knowing if he was going to be the vendor for the full year. So with that being said, and also if a new vendor wouldn't be able to procure a license in time or get the equipment in time, I worry about the feasibility of the timeline. So being that I had the initial ask of can we speed up the RFP request, unless there's a lot of debate on it, being that I made that motion, I'd be interested in saying maybe we push the RFP until Q3, because it does, after learning about that, it does seem pretty unreasonable, the timeline that I push for. So.
Okay, and my intent here is to avoid getting to high conversation right now because I know that this could take more time and it's not on the agenda. So part of what I'm doing here is sort of agenda development as part of the mayor and administrative reports that's going to follow. So bear with me, and if you feel that there's a parliamentary issue, please let me know. Thank you. Kevin, does this need, it sounds to me like this is something that should be approved before December 31st if the council intends to do an RFP for 2027, so that we have a vendor in place for 2026. Would that be a correct statement?
That is correct, yes.
Okay. So just, again, without getting into high conversation, we can always do this next week like as new business or something. Is there any objection to having this on consent next week? Okay, is the preference consent or new business?
Consent.
Consent. All right, okay. So I'm hearing consensus from the council to add this to consent for next week. Any objection from staff? Okay. Deborah, you good?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so we will have that added to the agenda, and our city administrator will mention that as part of the mayor and administrative reports for the extended agenda for next week. Thank you. Could somebody invite Councilmember Fulcher back in? Although, yeah. All right, let the record show that Councilmember Fulcher is back in chambers, please. All right, that'll take care of council member reports. We're going to go ahead and move into staff and department reports. Item 9.1, Police Department, October 2025 report. Chief Jolly.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. The monthly police report is contained within your agenda packet in a written form. I would point out the number one item that is listed on there. On October 2nd, officers were successful, specifically our Criminal Investigative Division, and identifying, locating, and tracking down a suspect who was involved in a robbery at the Park Place Grocery. And we were very fortunate to bring that person safely into custody with the assistance of the Sheriff's Agency in that locale, and just a phenomenal job. Great police work. So tribute to them, and I'm available for any questions.
Thank you. Any questions for the chief? Thank you. Finance Department report. Director Elsom. You can do it from there tonight. Yeah, thanks.
Good evening.
Julie, you're good.
Budget has been discussed at the last several meetings, so nothing really has changed, so I wasn't really going to go into details unless anybody has any questions.
Okay, any questions for finance? All right, thank you very much. Yeah. All right, we're going to go ahead and move on to the Mayor Administrator reports. Item 10.1, City Administrator Report Extended Agenda. Administrator Knight.
Great, thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Council. For the meeting next week on the 16th of December, our Finance and HR Committee meeting has been canceled, but we will have a special Legislative Affairs Committee meeting with a 5:30 p.m., so an early start time. So if you are a member of that committee, mark your calendars, 5:30 p.m. next week. We've got a couple items on the agenda: approval of minutes from October, and then the Association of Washington Cities Action Days agenda with Liam McCorkle, and then the Center for Quality Communities Scholarship. I'll be covering that topic. For the regular council meeting, we will have a reception at 6:15 honoring Mayor Thomas and his 12 years of service. And then starting at 7 p.m., we'll have our regular business meeting. Again, an announcement and presentations, a farewell for Mayor Thomas. Under consent agenda, we have a number of items: accounts payable, meeting minutes, payroll, renewal of our on-call civil engineering roster, acceptance of the 179th Avenue pump station, replacement project, resolution for parking restrictions, acceptance and project begin lien period for the road maintenance projects, and the concessionaires agreement with Kevin Teague. For the department reports, we have Human Services, and then the regular reports from Mayor and Administrator.
All right, thank you. Any questions on the extended agenda? All right, thank you. We do have marked that Councilmember Gamble will not be here for next week. And we're going to go ahead and move on then to, you saw the balance of the extended agenda there. Sorry, I interrupted that part. You saw it was a lot of red with nothing identified. When is the first meeting in January? I don't know why I'm not thinking of January,
13th.
folks. Okay. All right. Great. We're going to go ahead and move on to the City Administrator report on 10.2.
Sure. These are items that I've covered for the last couple of meetings. I'm not going to go into details, but I did just provide a shout out for the Monroe Community Band, which will be doing their free concert on Saturday, December 13th.
Okay. Thank you very much. Any questions on the City Administrator report? All right. Seeing none. Mayor's report. So last week I went to the Take the Next Step fundraiser. They came just a couple $1,000s short of their goal. It was a really great get-together from the community that raised nearly $55,000 toward their goal. Their goal is $55,000, so they raised about $53,000. It was really great seeing so many people there that care about our community. As I've said before, one of the things that we rely on with the system that we have here in the U.S. is volunteers and also nonprofits to support a lot of our human services. And so I just express my gratitude not only for Take the Next Step, but also for all the other human service providers that provide those services that our government doesn't provide here in this country. So I feel that they're doing a really good job of supporting people in need in our community, and just really appreciated seeing so many people there. I think that's all that I have tonight for the mayor's report. We do have a need for does anybody have any questions for me? Okay. We do have a need for an executive session this evening. It's potential litigation pursuant to, this is 11.1, potential litigation pursuant to RCW 42.30.100, subsection 1, subsection little I, for an initial 20 minutes. I will announce any extensions that need to occur to our clerk, who will announce them both online and also here in chambers. We will have action to occur following the executive session, if nothing else, to adjourn the meeting. And so we are going into an executive session. The time right now is, I better check the right clock, is 7:52 p.m. For an initial 20 minutes. We're in executive session. 1952.
The executive session has been extended 10 minutes. The executive session has been extended 5 minutes. The executive session has been extended 5 minutes. The executive session has been extended 5 minutes. The executive session has been extended 3 minutes.
We are now out of we are now out of executive session, and we have no further business required this evening, so unless there's objection, we will be adjourned. Seeing there is no objection, go ahead and say we are adjourned.
We're adjourned.
Thank you very much.